following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WZWA Network, and welcome to my review show here of NXT New Year's Evil from the 2nd of January, 2024, from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. I'm excited to talk about this show. What do you know? You know, the last show I had to talk about, wasn't too happy with it. So it was good to see a show that I was actually enthralled by. Great intro video to start the show for New Year's Evil, but imagine next year they got Alice Cooper to do the voiceover for it, because hopefully next year that PLE will be on the road. Hopefully they'll be upping the ante with the PLEs for NXT come next year. We crack on with the start of the show here. Pretty hot here. NXT women's title match here. Lyra Valkyria defending against Blair Davenport. So as we know, Blair won the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge at Deadline last month to challenge Lyra for the title here at New Year's Evil. We start off with Davenport coming out. I got a bit of a shiver. Well, I got a bit of a shiver when she came out, and I was like, did she just give me goosebumps? Am I becoming a big fan of Blair Davenport? Maybe I am. Lyra makes her entrance. Her hair was looking fantastic. Yes, I always mention her hair because when her hair's down, I think it's a better look than when it's all tied up. I have to give props to the NXT creative team. I feel like they have we have all got to know Lyra Valkyria a whole heap over the past few months. Character development is so important in wrestling. People need to evolve after time wears on. And when certain things happen to a character or a person in real life, but even a character on a show, when things happen to them, it changes them and who they are. And, you know, that's just true to life. Like I remember that TV show Skins. It was from the UK many years ago. The main character, the lad in it, I can't remember his name, but something really bad happened to him where he had like a head injury. And after that, he wasn't this cocky, arrogant guy anymore. It changed him. He wasn't the same kind of guy he was. He was still an interesting character, but he just wasn't that same character or same person he once was. His personality changed over that one bad thing that happened in his life. And I just think that it's important. And, you know, and I hate to keep picking on him, but when I see someone like Orange Cassidy, you know, I'm not like avidly against him, but it's 2024, you know, joke's getting a bit old after 4 years, seeing him do those weak little kicks to people's shins and being all laid back. Like, something has to happen at some point that's going to change him to make him interesting, because characters develop and evolve as time wears on. They're supposed to. That's how any good TV show based on, you know, solid story and soap opera-esque style stuff, you know, that's just how it's supposed to work. And if you don't agree with that, then you're wrong. But these two right here, these two ladies, they are the perfect example as to why I say Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Monet, shouldn't think so highly of herself when it comes to renegotiating a deal with WWE, because, bro, they don't need her. They've been fine without her. That main roster has a heap of ladies in prominent positions. You got your Bianca Belair, your Io Sky, your Bayley, your Becky Lynch, your Charlotte, your Rhea Ripley, and that's just a taste of what you've got there. You still got Chelsea Green. You've still got, yeah, I'll say it, Nia Jax. You've got all these other ladies on the roster, all different sizes, all different styles, all different looks there on the main roster. And you think of that, but then you think of the stars of the future like Lyra, Blair, Cora Jade, Tiffany Stratton, Fallon Henley, Kiana James, Gigi Dolan, so many more are just on the cusp of going to the main roster and being a big deal there. They don't need Sasha. They don't need Naomi, as far as I'm concerned. Those ladies made a big mistake leaving the company when they did. Yes, I understand Vince McMahon at that time was very annoying and nothing was going on with that tag division, but what do you... I don't know what Sasha's expecting. I think she thinks that she's like The Rock or something like that. You're not on that level, mate. There's too many people chomping at the bit to take those spots, and you come back, you're lost in the shuffle, mate. Blair hit a great double stop on Lyra early on, and the first 30 minutes of the show, commercial free, bro. Excellent. I'm going to say commercial 3. Lyra's strikes and palm thrusts, great stuff. You know what? I have to say it. In comparison to those 3 clunky and awkward ladies matches at AEW Worlds, and it just seemed like none of the ladies that had these matches had any chemistry. Abaddon and Julia Hart didn't have any chemistry. Riho and Toni Storm did not have any chemistry. Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, they could probably have a better match if AEW were doing live events and they were wrestling each other 3 times a week leading up to the pay-per-view. By the time they get to the pay-per-view, the match is just fucking perfect. They've got it all down pat. That's a big problem with AEW when they get to these pay-per-views. Usually in WWE, when they get to these shows, they've already touched like fucking 10 times. So they've already got a bit of chemistry going because they've worked out the kinks. But I just want to say, the NXT ladies here was showing that they are much more polished. We get breaking news at the bottom of the screen that Kelly Kincaid has an important update to give on Ilya Dragunov's injury after the match. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. And it's not Kermit the Frog. So it was a nice touch having a little breaking news thing at the bottom. It makes it seem like there's things evolving and changing as the show's going on, which is true to life. Blair hit a sick Falcon arrow off the top rope, and I have to say that's difficult to hit. Lyra managed to get to the outside as Blair continued her assault. She missed a knee on Lyra and smashed a hole through the side of the announce table, which was to great effect. Blair went in for the kill, but due to the knee going through the announce table, the injury was at play here. Lyra was able to take advantage, lay her out, and retain the championship. Then I had to laugh, bro. Okay, I have to laugh at this shit. Lola Vice came out to try and cash in her women's breakout tournament contract on Lyra. And as she was trying to get the referee to start the match, she's, yelling at the referee, like trying to hand him the contract. Tatum Paxley comes flying off a barricade at her, which instigates a brawl with Tatum and Lyra, with Lola and her partner, Elektra Lopez, coming out to even the odds. Referees split the ladies up, and I'm just like, this company is insane, right? I imagine Blair will go off to feud with Nikita Lyons after this. Lyra and her side story with the obsessive Tatum Paxley now thickens. That Lola Vice has made it clear that she's going to be buzzing around waiting for her chance to topple the champion. I don't see Lola Vice becoming NXT Women's Champion through all this, but you win some, you lose some in these situations. It's not going to be like when Roxanne cashed in. So Lyra wins in 8 minutes, 26 seconds. Let's continue on. The liquor store closes in 42 minutes, and I don't have my bottle of wine for the night. Kelly Kincaid is backstage, and yes, the plot thickens with Ilya Dragunov being unable to compete on the show tonight. It was funny because she was in front of the medical room, and clearly you could hear Ilya going batshit crazy to the medical personnel. Very funny stuff. Straight into the next one here. 6-man tag, the LWO. Cruz del Toro, Joaquin, Wilde, and who's supposed to be Dragon Lee for that team for the LWO take on the no quarter catch crew, Damon, Kemp, Drew Gulak, and Myles Borne. So we know Dragon Lee is the new NXT North American champion. He's been dealing with the NQCC for the last few weeks, which then required the backup of Del Toro and Wilde. Unfortunately, due to visa issues, though, Dragon Lee cannot be on this edition of New Year's Evil. So his replacement is Carlito. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, when his theme song fucking hit, the crowd went absolute banana, mate. Got to give props to the former Legado del Fantasma members. They're still a solid unit. I just wish the WWE main roster was as exciting and action-packed as NXT is. Then maybe I would watch it. We know Charlie Dempsey is not here because he's opened the forbidden door, a real forbidden door as far as I'm concerned, in comparison to AEW. I mean, WWE doing stuff like this is unheard of in this day and age. And he's gone to challenge for the Triple Crown for All Japan Pro Wrestling. Joaquin Wilde got launched by Carlito and Cruz off the second rope. He's standing on the second rope. The team that they're against the NQCC. They're standing there in a group pretty far away, and they both pulled the bottom rope down and just launched him. I've never seen anything like that before. I thought that was absolutely unbelievable. Damon Kemp got out there for the first time. I've seen him out there in months. And I thought that the no quarter catch crew needed to establish themselves at some point with a big win, but with Carlito being there, I don't see how this is going to go well for the grounded pounders. Carlito got the hot tag, and it was hot indeed. The Latino World Order ended up closing in on the NQCC, and Carlito hit a backstabber, and then Del Toro hit his Phoenix Splash, and it was over. So there we go. Drew Gulak says after the match, when Charlie gets back, they're going to the den and straightening this out. I assume that means something like Stu Hart's dungeon. And then Carlito spat apple in the face of Gulak to end the segment. And in the background, the fans just look like they're having the best time ever there. So the LWO win in 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes interview with Kelly Kincaid backstage. Trick is disappointed about Ilya not being able to compete on the show tonight. And Melo thinks that Ilya is full of it and that he's only scared because he found out that Trick was doing training with Melo. And then here we go. Grayson Waller shows up. I was laughing so much because he comes in. He tells Kelly that the adults are talking now. She rolls her eyes. Obviously, all the women are just so annoyed by this guy because he's such an arrogant asshole. And he's just roasting the hell out of Trick and Melo. And he's saying that Trick used to be Melo's valet. And now, I guess, Carmelo, you're Trick's valet. And the look in their faces, the facial expressions that they're pulling is just fucking hilarious. Because they're just like, fuck, man. Like, boom, boom, boom. Just copying all these shots. And it's great stuff from Grayson Waller. But it's also funny because Grayson's just making things worse and worse for himself as Trick and Melo start getting more and more pissed off at him. Then Melo ends up giving up Trick's #1 contendership to be on the line, later to Waller, who's stoked about it. His frown turned upside down, and he was so happy he ran off, and that's what our main event's going to be. So Trick was really pissed off with Melo too. All the facial expressions in this was really good stuff from the guys. Riley Osborne, little vignette here. He's writing an essay for Chase University. See, this is good stuff because that's what you would do if you're in a university that's involved with wrestling. He'd probably have to do some sort of essay on his upcoming opportunity in the men's breakout tournament final. And he was talking about wanting to follow in the footsteps of European wrestling legends like William Regal and Fit Finlay and Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Wade Barrett, etc. And, the voiceover was tremendous because he's writing and you can just hear his thoughts as he's writing. That's really good stuff. Whoever thought of that, I reckon Jeremy Borash probably. Okay, let's move forward. Roxanne Perez takes on Arianna Grace in the next match. You know what? Sorry, hang on a second. Oh, man. Sorry, everyone. My ass is fucking killing me. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, Roxanne was in one of her moods again, as we know. Fuck. Arianna Grace was with her backstage and said a few words that Roxanne did not like. I'm going to tilt this up now. I'm sitting on a pillow. There we go. And it was about not mattering about if you win or lose, And Roxanne, the little psycho hose beast herself, decided to smack Arianna in the face. She's a little psychopath. The following week, Arianna was speaking to Shawn Michaels' assistant. Ava, and had been trying to convince the office that Roxanne needed anger management, which she needs sorely. Look at every feud that she's been in and how much of a psycho she's been acting. But instead, Arianna Grace was booked in a match for New Year's Evil to face Roxanne one-on-one, which is very unfair. Really big wag of the finger here, okay? Big wag of the finger. Okay, I don't know how much time you get there on, I guess they're still on the USA Network. I don't know how much time they get, but bro, fine 30 seconds. Fine 30 seconds for Arianna Grace to make her entrance. Do not have her already standing in the ring. What works for her is making her entrance, The theme cuts after 10 seconds. She says something on the microphone as she's still walking to the ring. She's maybe still talking, and then maybe she gets cut off with the theme song of her opponent. Don't cut her entrance. That's where we get to see the character on display. That's where we get the featuring of Arianna Grace. Don't do it. Thank you. Surely, yeah, I've already said that. She needs the mic in her hand every time. That's what I'm trying to say. All this does is confirm that the little psycho Roxanne Perez was going to get a victory here. That's what I thought, right? But NXT keep on making me guess. Vic Joseph asked about what is triggering Roxanne Perez lately. Vic, anything is triggering her, if you've noticed. They worked well together early, and Arianna gave her a catapult into the second rope. I really think she's a star of the future, man. That's why, again, you know, I mentioned some of those other ladies, Tiffany Stratton, Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, etc. Right just below them in the next echelon down is people like Arianna Grace, Carmen Petrovich, you know, Lola Vice. These are ladies that are ready for that spot when Tiffany goes up, when Cora goes up. So again, Sasha Banks, she's fucked. You screwed it, you know. If you have the chance, now's the time to get back in there. Now's the time to get back in WWE right now, right this minute, because before any of these ladies come up, because then you're going to be screwed. When a Tiffany Stratton's up there, you should be the one putting her over. You should be the one that's on your way out almost, because we have people ready to invest in that are going to stick around and that aren't going to take their ball and go home every time that they get a creative decision given to them that they don't like. Anyway, the crowd was split on Roxy and Arianna, which I think is interesting considering the depiction of Roxanne's character that has made her unlikable to at least me. But then Perez hit Pop Rocks out of nowhere to get the pin. Arianna was yelling at Roxanne after the match that she has issues and that Arianna can help her. Then Roxanne just straight up assaults Arianna after the match. Here's my second wag of the finger for this show, okay? Can the referee do something and stop standing there waving it off? He's just standing there. Roxanne, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Dude, grab her. Grab her. As soon as she got on top and was like, I don't know what she did. She was like just hitting her with punches, or she was locking in some sort of like chokehold on her or whatever, and she was smiling while she was doing it. Whatever it was, that's when the referee started to try and get her off her. Dude, grab her by the arm and restrain her when something like that's happening. I know that they need the spot where she's like going to be choking her and smiling and all that. But man, like the waving off, that is really annoying. Really annoying, bro. Anyway, I burst into huge laughter when the referee reversed the decision on Perez after the match, and Arianna won by disqualification in 5 minutes, 9 seconds. Surely this leads to a Roxanne Perez heel turn. Ava backstage gets interviewed with Kelly Kincaid. Ava is asked about Ilya. She says it's not safe for Dragunov to wrestle tonight, so he's out. Waller is in. And the number one contendership is on the line. And I'm thinking, because this is what I first thought, how is this fair? He won the Iron Survivor Challenge. It's not fair that he has to put it on the line. Anyway, and Waller hasn't even been in NXT for like nearly a year. It's okay, though. It makes me laugh because this kind of shit only happens in wrestling. Ava then announced the Dusty Rhodes Classic will begin next week, to which Kelly says, that's so exciting, Ava. Like, why would you be that excited over another fucking tournament, Kelly? I had to pause it there because I was like, get fucked. Fuck off, will you? Why is that exciting? We just finished a tournament. And before that, we had the Women's Breakout Tournament. And before that, what do we have? We had the Heritage Cup Invitational Tournament. It's like, I guess this is the thing. They're always going to have a tournament going at all times throughout the year. It's not that big of a deal. It's not a big deal at all, really. I kind of like it in a way, but, you know, geez, it just seems like there's just always tournaments going on. And then, of course, Ava mentioned that she's helping HBK out as he's a busy man. So we have a confirmation now that she's a liaison with management. Tiffany Stratton cuts a promo on Fallon Henley. It was just further hype for the match I was most looking forward to, which is coming up next. after Blair Davenport is seen walking around with a bad neck and knee. She should be in the trainer's room, mate. She's in pain. Nikita Lyons confronts Blair, as we know that these two have had some issues dating back to when Blair attacked Nikita and put her out on the shelf with that injury for some time. Nikita took off her jacket, revealing a very cool outfit and a few things that were really hot as well. Referees and backstage personnel suddenly show up to keep them from fighting. Good to see that the environment is changing as time wears on, because if people were fighting everywhere all the time, if it were real, security would be stepped up. Next up, ranch hand or servant for a day match. Fallon Henley takes on Tiffany Stratton. So they've been feuding since before NXT Halloween Havoc a few months ago. The feud has led to several contests between the two, where the last time Fallon picked up a victory 2 episodes ago on episode 712. Afterward, Tiffany dumped garbage on Fallon after a post-match assault, where once again referees were standing there. Tiffany, stop it now. Fuck. Tiffany has lately been hanging around and keeping her eye on Josh Briggs, Fallon's on-screen partner. Although that group's now split, I don't know if they're going to continue with any sort of story with that, but I don't know. You never know. The developments with the story have been interesting. Well, now, depending on who, Tiffy loses, she has to be the ranch hand, and if Fallon loses, she has to be Tiffy's servant for a day. It's a shame, because I think both scenarios would be funny to watch, entertaining. Tiffany comes out, and did you see the outfit she was wearing? Oh my God, bro. I remember when she got on the ring apron and we got a close-up of her, I went, fuck. Yowza. So yeah, she's always wearing a fresh outfit, and this was, I think, the sexiest I've ever seen. Fallon came out all fired up. She has really impressed me over the last few months. Tiffany's vocal selling still pops me. She took charge of the match early with a shot to the ring post. We come back for a commercial break, and Tiffy hits a squisher on Fallon, which I wouldn't mind copying, that's for sure. Then there was a double clothesline. They brawled to the outside as Fallon started to build momentum and hit a crucifix bomb. These two really work well together, and see, this is proof in the pudding. They've clearly worked together a few times already. I have to check things out here. Let me look at cagematch.net. NXT New Year's Evil cage match. This is just my shortcut. I just want to check to see if they've been doing any sort of live events with NXT. Tiffany Stratton. Matches. Right. NXT Live. No, not really. They haven't been working together. They did the last live event that Tiffany worked. She worked against Ivy Nile. She has had a couple of matches with Fallon on TV lately. Other live events are from, July last year or June last year. Kalani, Thea Hale, Lyra, Valkyria. Okay, well, that kind of fucks everything I said before. But these two have already worked together a few times on TV. So that helps, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, this is developmental. I don't expect NXT to be able to do live events, because I don't think that they will draw good crowds anyway. That would make it feasible to do something like that. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, AEW don't do live events. WWE do. So by the time they get to pay-per-views, the people who are working together on those pay-per-views have already ironed the kinks out. Whereas that's why I think AEW they struggle with some things when they get to their pay-per-views. Anyway, they both spilled to the outside at one stage. Tiffy grabbed a chair. She wrestled with the referee over the chair. Referee pulled the chair from her, and then Fallon surprised her with a shining wizard to get the pin. So I look forward to next week, because I know Tiffany's going to be working on the ranch and whinging about it like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie on The Simple Life. Fallon Henley via pinfall, 9 minutes, 2 seconds. Baron Corbin, Bron Breakker backstage. He wants Bron to break the tough guy stuff. He just wants to have a conversation with him about being his partner in the Dusty Rhodes Classic coming next week. Baron manages to convince him. It was really stupid little promo between the two, but still rather entertaining. Femi cuts a promo, and I'm loving the African accent. You know, he's from Nigeria. Here's my impression. I come from the wonderful country of Nigeria. So fucking good. It immediately makes him super interesting to me. We go backstage, and Gigi Dolan is whinging to a few chicks in the locker room who I don't recognize any of them. They must be trainees at the Performance Center. She's whinging about New Year's resolutions and all that, and she's actually sitting in Cora Jade's locker. Even though some other chicks are sitting in Lecture Lopez and Fallon Henley's lockers, and somebody's actually sitting in Gigi's locker, she doesn't seem to care. But Cora Jade comes in and she cracks the shits big time over Gigi sitting in her locker. And dude, did you see the outfit? Like, I can't get over it, man. I can't get over it. Did you see the outfit that Cora Jade was wearing? My God. How could Bron Breaker ever be in a bad mood? I don't think getting time to wrap that gift every night. I'm sorry. Ridge Holland is getting an interview with Sarah Schreiber, and I just don't understand why Mackenzie Mitchell can't be there anymore. Nothing against Sarah. It just seems to make more sense that Mackenzie wouldn't lose a job. I don't know. You can afford her. You can afford having 3 ladies there working as like different types of, journalist type roles, interviewer type roles. Sarah does the panels and does Level Up and all that, and Mackenzie and Kelly do the main show and the PLEs and whatever, things like this. But anywho, this doesn't make sense. Anyway, Ridge talked about how he blew his legs out in NXT years ago, got his nose broken in the first WWE PLE he was on. This was a smart thing to do. It's going to help repair Ridge in the eyes of fans who get angry over him and what happened when, things happen with Big E and all that, and he injured a few people. And the accidents happen, man. And I don't begrudge him. Riley Osborne is backstage, walking to the ring, and JC and Thea Hale are backstage as JC shoves Thea to wish Riley luck. And she pretends that she's just, looking around and fiddling through things, whilst Thea awkwardly, once again, tries to tell Riley good luck. And then Riley high-fives her, and the way she reacted, like she's never washing her hand again. She's fucking fanging for it, mate. She loves this bloke, right? when we get to the ring, right, and Riley's making his entrance, Booker T had said, "Somebody give her a cigarette," which is just hysterical, dude. And Vic Joseph acted like he didn't understand what he meant. You know what I mean, Vic. Right? The first time you and Mackenzie got together afterward, you probably felt like a cigarette because, come on. Anyway, we know Riley defeated Keanu Carter and Lexis King in order to make it to the finals of the NXT Breakout tournament. Femi defeated Myles Borne from the No Quarter Catch Crew and Tavion Heights in order to make it to the finals as well. So here we go. Femi, Riley Osborne. Liquor store closes in 22 minutes. I'm not going to make it. Booker T chastises Vic Joseph as well over Vic pronounced Oba. And Vic brought up how Booker called him FEMA a few weeks ago, and Booker laughed. You know that they're always looking to pop one another over there, aren't they? Overpowers Riley early. I thought this was an interesting mix in styles, but I also thought it might be fathomable that Riley could have a chance to win here because he's not tiny. He's still a pretty tall bloke despite his, style being a high flyer. More power shown by Oba. Thea shows up in the crowd excited, and Oba hits my NXT Slam of the Week when he Riley cops a massive chop to the chest as Riley's running at him on the apron, and he just smacked him. It was like a gunshot, and the way Riley bumped it, fantastic. Slam of the Week, baby. You know what? I'd give Fallon Henley's Shining Wizard the Lugs Boot of the Week. Thank you. A commercial break certainly wasn't welcome at that point. I just wish they wouldn't do this during matches, but whatever. They do the picture-in-picture bullshit. Side thought here, imagine Femi, Tyreek Igwe, and Tyson DuPont. If you have not seen them on Level Up, you should check them out. Two big bastards right there, powerhouses. Imagine those two powerhouses joined with Femi and started a group in NXT. Oba was in supreme control with his Uranagi backbreaker. I really thought Oba should win this. Thea Hale going crazy in the crowd. She's a riot, bro. Riley dropped Oba a few times, going for a shooting star press. The second time he attempted it, though, he cops knees from Femi. Then Femi wiped him the hell out with 3 power moves. The way he just sealed the deal, bro. Snake Eyes in the corner, picked him up for like a Blue Thunder bomb, but when he span him around, he just launched the guy. And then he finished with the pop-up powerbomb. Very impressive. So Femi wins the breakout tournament decisively, whilst also making Riley look good. Gets the win in 9 minutes, 45 seconds. I now have 19 minutes left until the liquor store's closed. I'm not going to make it, bro. No, there's too much more to talk about. Out the Mud are now staking their claim for the NXT Tag Team Championships against the family. It's the battle of 2 teams of different kinds of gangsters, bro. I'm looking forward to that. And now, finally, you know how there's moments where somebody you finally notice them. I finally have noticed Out the Mud, and I'm into the act. Whereas beforehand, I was a bit very bland. But now, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting sold on it. Kiana James and Izzy Dame interview with Kelly Kincaid. Izzy gets the opportunity to speak for the first time and explain why she's teamed up with Kiana James. And Kiana backs that shit up. Kiana says, in this business, you can make friends or you can make money. That's a quote Chief J Strongbow gave Scott Hall. I like it, bro. And you know what was great? No one interrupted the interview. Is somebody over there listening to me? Are you listening to me? Because honestly, I've been whinging about this for months and months and months and getting real mad about it. I don't think I've seen an interview interruption in 3 weeks. I've seen people walk up to somebody and interrupt them backstage, but just saying, I don't think anyone's listening to me, but is it unfathomable? Trick was cracking the shits backstage again next with Carmelo Hayes about putting his contendership on the line. And Melo was upset that Trick wants to do the match alone. We know why. Because that means Carmelo can't screw Trick the way he wants to. So we all know where this is headed, and I'm liking it. Speaking of liking it, Thea is with JC talking about Riley. Not liking the fact that he lost the match, though. She wants to figure out how to cheer him up and suggested texting him, but JC thought that might be a bit much. You want to know how you could really cheer him up, Thea? If this were real, you would text him and say, hey, I hope you're not feeling too bad. Maybe, do you want to go for a drink or something? There you go. There you go. He's probably feeling bad. Wouldn't mind a cold beer because, he's a bit sore. I think Thea's 21 now. Let's double check that. Thea Hale age. Thea Hale, come on. Wrestler, age. Are you seriously not going to tell me? This is so annoying. I just want the fucking answer straight away. Straight away. Give me the fucking answer. Thea Hale. Age. What's her age? Come on. Oh, this is an old website. She's not 19 anymore. Okay, she might not be of age to go drinking, but fucking whatever. Okay? Jesus Christ. The internet is so annoying now. Have you noticed when you try to search for something on YouTube or Google, you just get a plethora of shit. The internet's getting polluted, bro. Anyway, she's talking to JC about Riley losing the match. Andre Chase shows up looking like absolute shit. Talks about the Dusty Classic and how he and Duke Hudson are gonna, and JC shuts that down. She's in charge now because Chase has to figure out how to pay back the debt that Chase U has. She says Duke Hudson and Riley Osborne will be representing Chase University, and she has a big game plan, and Andre chases after her, no pun intended, wanting to know what the plan is. After they've left the shot, in the background, here we go, bro. Lyra Valkyria is doing what every normal person does after they have competed in a wrestling match 90 minutes prior, after having been sweating in their ring gear. She's still in her ring gear. Nearly 90 minutes later, holding a title, feeling a neck because her neck's sore because she just had she had a wrestling match. It's still sore after all this time, mate. Go to the trainer's room. What are you doing? Or maybe you can't because Ilya Dragunov's still losing his shit in there. But she's sitting on a production case. She's got no bottle of water with her, nothing of the sort. She's unshowered. And then Tatum Paxley scares the shit out of her, congratulating her. I'm liking this little side storyline. Then Tatum says, as long as Lyra is still champion, all is right in the world. And Lyra is freaked out as Tatum runs off. If I had Tatum Paxley obsessed with me that much, I'd be like, do you want to go back to my place or something? Because she's crazy. The crazy ones are good at bed. All right, keep going. I'm sorry. I find it funny that I make comments like that. I hope people don't go like, oh, shut up. All right, soft cock. Axiom is standing there backstage again, and you guessed it, he's talking. Well, speaking of soft cocks, it's Nathan Fraser. Axiom tries to ask Nathan his opinion. I don't know. I don't know if it was on over Femi or something. And Nathan says, I'm not going to fall for that one again. And Axiom brings up the Dusty Classic. And then Nathan says, oh, well, now you're talking. I mean, wouldn't it be great? Our styles mixed together. We might be a quite good tag team. I'm just, I don't know if this is exactly what he said, but I'm just going to do the impression anyway. And he says, and all those established tag teams in NXT, they've just not been able to get the job done recently, have they? And then, what do you know? Edris Sanofi and Malik Blade show up. Okay, you know what? Now I'm laughing at Nathan Fraser, right? Because he keeps getting in the shit. I'm okay. You know how I've been fucking ripping him apart for months? Now I'm slightly popping for him, okay? I never thought in a million years that I would change my mind on Nathan Fraser. I hate him, but he's starting to turn me a little bit because of what's going on here. I just want to see him get his ass handed to him, bro. I can't believe I said ass. Ass. As the family are leaving the building, the next segment. Oh yeah, by the way, Anofi and Malik Blade just cracked the shits at him and said that they were gonna fuck him up or whatever. As the family are leaving the building, a cameraman asks what Out the Mud had to say about them and next week's tag team title match, 13 minutes to the liquor store closes. They respond, and then they officially introduce Arianna Rizzo. Hey, T, how you fucking doing, Tom? Yeah. She's the backbone of the D'Angelo family. It's Arianna Rizzo. And her accent is unbelievably awesome. And she is a rockin' babe. They open their trunk to put their titles in there, and Joe Gacy was sleeping in there. And they're like, how the fuck did you fucking get in here? And then apparently there was a body of a guy in there, and it's just, oh my God, there was. There's a camera on you. You got a dead body in the car, and you're going to open the trunk while the camera's there. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's get to the main event of the evening here. NXT title, #1 contendership match. Waller, Williams. Here we go. Whoop that trick. Whoop one. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, Whoop won the trick whoop. Won the men's Iron Survivor Challenge at Deadline last month. Blah, 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 blah. Ilya Dragunov's injured. Blah, 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 blah. Grayson Waller. Blah, 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 blah. I've already talked about this. I don't need to repeat everything. Fuck. This match is a battle for the two guys who have won the men's Iron Survivor Challenge. 2022 winner Waller. 2023 winner Trick Williams. Or Whoop. And apparently a former NXT champion is on the way to the building to watch the main event, which was tweeted by Shawn Michaels earlier on. And it's just funny to know that this dude is running this late to watch something or something he wants to watch so much that he called Shawn Michaels about it, who tweeted about it. That pops me. They brawled on the outside before Waller gets thrown over the announce table. Grayson got the advantage with a really innovative float over double stomp to Trick's head. Grayson worked on the legs of Trick as the match wore on. Waller talked some smack, pardon me, and Trick smacked Grayson square in the face and fought back with gusto. He's improved so much, this bloke. Waller did his little roll into the ring, got smacked upside the head, which I loved because I hate the little roll. He and Austin Theory both do it. So as Grayson misses a big elbow and it looked like Trick was about to hit him with that running knee, out comes Carmelo Hayes running to the ring like he's going to help or give support to Trick Williams. We know what your fucking plight is, mate. We've all seen through it so long. But you know what? They still kind of try and keep you guessing here in NXT, which is really good. And as all this is going on, Trick's yelling at Mello. Kevin Owens shows up and punches Grayson Waller right in the face. And Trick hit the knee on Waller, who was thrown into the ring for the 3 count. And Trick has won. He's still the #1 contender. Trick won't be stopped. Surely this goes to Vengeance Day on February 4th, where Trick and Ilya Dragunov finally go one-on-one. I'm sure at that point, Mello will finally do the heel turn we've been expecting, because then we will be heading to Stand and Deliver, which is the perfect event for Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes to have their first battle with one another. Sorry, just looking at my moustache in the camera. Okay, not looking too bad. Anywho, so there we have it. 13 minutes, 7 seconds for the main event there. I would have to give this show a pretty high rating. You know, I'd say probably about 8 out of 10, which is a pretty good rating from me. Based off its excitement level, its ability to continue stories, build up new ones, continue developing characters, not relying on lazy things like backstage interview interruptions to announce a match for next week. They continue to develop characters. There's so much going on with that this is Crash TV in 2024. They have finally got it right, because people's attention spans aren't very good these days. You got to get the main roster shows to be more like this, and WWE is back to where they should have been in the late 90s. Sorry, the late 2000s. It was still all right in the mid 2000s, and that was all before all the fucking shit got polluted with red tape and restrictions caused by a boss past his prime. There we have it. My review show here of NXT New Year's Evil. I'm Karlifornia. Please check out the Slam Society, where usually I review the regular NXT show, not the specials of the PLEs. I do that on there every single week. I also review NWA Power. And when TNA Wrestling's back, I'll be reviewing Impact again. Juicy Boy covers MLW usually. I'll probably be covering it this week if there even is an episode this week. Whatever the fuck. There's also extra reaction videos, extra reviews, extra everything over there. Little tidbits, little extras that we don't put on our YouTube channel that you're seeing this from here. And it's only $3 a month for the Americans, $5 a month for Australians because of the difference in the coin. And also check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com. We've got a store there, Thunder Mifflin, with all of our great merchandise, and we still need more sales so we can make more designs, bro. We've only got 4 up there. We want more. How do you like it? How do you like it? More. Once again, Karlifornia, WZWA Network, and we will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.